The information, comments, and recommendations contained herein are not within the scope of investment consultancy. Investment advisory service is provided within the framework of the investment advisory service to be signed between the customer and beekeeping institutions, per education companies, non-deposit accepting banks. My comments on this channel are only my personal comments. These comments belong to you. Your financial situation and risk return may not be appropriate. Therefore, no investment should be made based on the information and comments on my channel.
Good evening to everyone. Our hours are Tuesday, October 8th, 1715. This week, we will comment on the latest developments in the markets. Well, there are decreases in gold and silver prices. There is a general trend in the sellers of cryptocurrencies. Let's make a comment, then I will move on to different topics. I have a busy agenda today. Stock Exchange Istanbul 100 Index is at 9,093 points level. It seems like it will complete the day with an increase of 0.68 points. The effort to hold on above the 99,000 point level is very good. The 8,800 to 9,200 point range is very critical and important. Finally, it held on above the 9,000 point level. We will continue to follow the resistance at 9,200 and 9,400. This is now the resistance level. I will continue to see the decline below the 99,000 point level as a buying opportunity. Again, gold investor, I'm sorry, the stock market investor definitely needs to wait at least 6 months to complete this process. Look, a friend of mine came today. His brother lost around 3.54 million last night. Of course, it is a big amount of money according to their budget. Last night he was in the process of committing suicide. He was going to hang himself. They saved him at the last moment. They sold the garden. I don't know what they are doing. They will save that loss somehow. Again, a friend of mine came today. He is young again, so he is going to university. A young son who has just graduated entered the stock market again, made a leveraged transaction. He is very smart. He is holding it. He is making a leveraged transaction again. He is playing short. He is holding it. He is losing around 1.5 million in the stock market. 2 suicide cases, that is, a suicide attempt case. I witnessed it today. Who knows? It is in Turkey right now. Those who have psychological problems, those who are depressed, those who are thinking of suicide, etc. Who knows? Please, dear friends, I am calling out to everyone whose voice I can hear. The stock market environment is an investment market. It is not a gambling market. Please control yourself. Life outside is not the life you dream of. There are both declines and rises in financial markets. It can happen, but there are rules of the game. Play according to the rules of this game. People who have not been aware of investment until today. If you cannot do anything, you cannot understand anything. If you cannot follow anything, take your gold and silver with the money you have and put it aside. Since I am generally a physical saver, I do not recommend 1 or 2 in the virtual environment. Go and give an automatic order to the bank and mind your business, please. Friends, do not see the stock market as a gambling market. You have spent money in the short term. You sold a house, you sold a car, or you will buy a house, you will buy a car, you have a party in hand. The stock market has fallen a lot. Yes, it has fallen and lost value. Let me make an introduction here. My friend told me this. He said so and so on. Let me make an introduction from here. Let me find the money in 1,015 days. Maybe it will put it above 3,500. Such a thought is a wrong thought. There is no such life outside. There is no such life outside. There is no such winning model in the financial markets. Have you entered the stock market, brother? How much money do you have? Million TL will be divided into 200 million, 200,000, 205 parts. Look at the corporate companies separately. You will enter the corporate companies. You will wait for 6 months. You will wait at least 6 months. Take your enthusiasm from there. In the return of September, the fluff data was announced in Turkey. The highest return was again 3.1 grams of gold. If you can't do anything, it's gold. Take it and keep it aside, but dreamers, these things won't happen with gambling, they won't happen, and therefore these types of moves. Crashes in the stock market these days. This is what's happening in the cryptocurrency market. Such stories happen every year. It's time to throw these stories in the trash. Be a mature person, raise your awareness, and don't view your investments as gambling, investor. Look at it as everyone lives with their choices. You will suffer the consequences and you will pay a heavy price. There will be declines and rises in the financial markets, but look at the result. Look at the end of the movie. Did you get on at the beginning of the train or did you get on at the end? You got on at the end of the train. You were in a race with people like you got on at the beginning, thinking that you will win. Such a race will definitely not happen. The 8,809 200-point level in the Borsa Istanbul D index remains valid. If it rises above the 9,200-point level, there is a resistance of 9,400 above. Again, we continue to wait on the index side at the 12,000-point level within the 6-month period. Our slogan for the last 3 weeks is agricultural commodities or the stock market. My answer is, as usual, agricultural commodities. Since 3 weeks, I have been trying to raise awareness about this issue. The dollar exchange rate is at the level of 37 lira and 27 kurush. These increases continue inch by inch without being noticed. The general outlook is positive exchange rates, and the upward movements will continue again. As you know, I broadcast live in my video yesterday and every Monday morning at Investing at 10. Well, I will make my broadcasts and comments on Mondays at 10 o'clock. I would like to verbally declare again that I will do my weekly analyses live on Mondays at 10 o'clock on the YouTube channel. By drawing special attention to the euro-dollar parity in yesterday's video, dear friends, I warned that I am waiting for the level of 1.08 and then 1.05 in the parity. As I explained in my video yesterday, I would like to point out again that our friends who hold euro are also looking for an opportunity to exit, especially when it tests the level of 1.10 and above. Look, there is a level of 1.13, below is the level of 1.05. See, it will fluctuate in a very wide band range. European Central Bank, there is an interest rate decision of the Federal Reserve Bank of America. There are elections in America. Right now it is waiting in the middle. It will either break down or it will break up. There is a level of 1.13 above. There is a level of 1.05 below. You know where I would personally bet, as you know, one. We exited our euro at the 122 level and bought gold. That means we do not have a euro position. Half of it was sold at the 1.08 level. We bought gold, and we went below half of the euro at the 1.08 level, and we did not have a euro position anyway with our companions. However, this time, alarm bells are ringing in the euro-dollar parity. E1.08 is 1.05 below. It still continues to be a risky area. Today it rose up to 110.40. Those who exited today, I think they made a good decision if they exited at least 10% of the time. It could be 111, it could be 112, it could be 13. That is a different thing. What is important is what you buy with the euro. Did you buy gold or silver? The important thing in this story is not whether the euro parity declines or rises, but which one you exchange with. The euro-dollar parity, which rose to the level of 110.40 today, is currently at the level of 109.80. It is finishing the day with a seller again. The euro-dollar parity is now 110. Level is the resistance level, and there is a level of 37L65 kurush in the TL exchange rate. Again, those who want to protect themselves in the short term can evaluate their assets on the U side. It is cheaper than the dollar, but again, we had taken a dollar position before the interest rate decision of the Federal Reserve Bank of America on September 18th, and this we are still maintaining our dollar position as of today. What are we waiting for? We are waiting for the declines in ounce gold. What were we waiting for? The level of $2,580 is currently at the level of $2,633. After we took a position, it rose to the level of $2,680. With a sale of $50 again, we are now at the level of $2,632. On the ounce gold side, we continue to wait for the level of $2,580 again, and we will think about it there. Whether to buy it gradually or not, we will decide on that day, but at the moment, I would like to express that we, together with our companions, maintain your dollar position, but gram gold has risen to the level of 3.80 lira in the free markets. I have always stated this. Would I buy gram gold or ounce gold at this level? No, I will continue to wait on the sidelines. Currently, in the free market, gram gold is at the level of 3,040 L. With this decline that we expect in the TL price to tin gold, the level of 2,980 lira can be seen. I have mentioned my expectation in my previous videos for the last 2 weeks. My prediction is again the same. On the ounce gold side, $2.80 under grams. Our expectation regarding the 2,980 level continues again. Those who will hold a wedding here, those who have gold debt, or those who are considering investing in gold may find an opportunity to buy. But those who hold gold and silver in their hands, I think definitely. I will not sell the goods. New record attempts will continue every month, both on the ounce side and on the gram side. This is our buying position. When we complete our buying position, I will tell you this. We have made our purchases, we have closed our positions, now we are waiting for these levels. Well, I will give you information from here. Well, silver is at the level of $30.60 per ounce. Here, there is a support level of $30 in the continuation of 3,050. It continues to hover in the range of $3,032. I will continue to see the declines as a buying opportunity here. There is a support level of $30 in the continuation of 3,050. It is currently 3% seller. Because the gold-silver ratio is above the 84 level, we see that silver is affected more negatively, but it is nice. The prices are falling nicely. Those who opened positions before, those who made costs at that high, let's at least reduce the percent risk for the purchase. I give an example. Professional investors who exited at the $32 level can now replace their percent from the $3,070 level. When it drops to the $30 level again, they put the other percent back, and as a result, it would be nice to make money. The gram price of silver is 34L, 18 Kurush level. There were attacks above the 35 lira level. Here, there is a negative decrease due to the silver ounce. That is, there is a sale of around 2.19%. The gram price of silver and the ounce price of silver remain cheap compared to gold. You still have gold in your hand. You are given the opportunity to buy silver, or you do not have silver. Since the ratio is high, you can evaluate these decreases on the silver side. The red line is this. You definitely have to do this through parity. The barrel price of Brent oil is at the level of $77. There is a 4.76% depreciation. There is a barrel price of Brent oil. We will follow the support level of $75 here. Travel in the range of $75,880. An oil price will continue to stand before us. Bitcoin 6 is at the level of $2.556. On the Bitcoin side, friends, we will continue to follow the $61,500 to $64,500 range. The dollar index will make a general recovery above the 102 level again. If we are to be honest, there are sharp declines in all instruments against the dollar today. Probably the stock exchanges will be included in this. There are sharp declines in MT and all precious metals. The dreams we have been waiting for are in the consistency we expected. The dreams have come true today. There is no problem for us. We continue to wait for the dollar, and it is a good thing that we have taken a dollar position. Today's figures, and it shows us this, and we will continue to use gold and other instruments again in our dollar position, dear friends. Those who have been following me for about 4 years know this very well. I often publish many projects, especially in The Columnist and here, to bring the gold under the pillow into the economy. I have expressed it to you in all the television programs I have attended. I have also verbally expressed to the esteemed ministers themselves in their meetings with the ministers of Treasury, Finance, or ministers of Commerce, and I have told you all our meetings and projects here, one by one, what I will do, again in my last meeting. Well, I am in September, our vice president. We met with Mr. Cevdet Yilmaz, and he presented my various projects to him there. Well, again in my previous videos. Our friends who have been following me closely for about 4 years know very well that they may be cleaning workers, construction workers, shoe shiners, scrap dealers, etc. We have a lot of friends. These friends of ours are always accumulating physical gold. They cannot use a loan to buy a house, etc. I also did a study on these. A special loan is defined for first-time homebuyers, and they are given to citizens who will buy a house for the first time by bringing the gold under their pillows and counting it as a down payment. They should not convert the money they have into gold or foreign currency. Borrow TL. I had projects to at least own a house. I told you that I will explain this good news to you. Now, I would like to remind you of these comments I made exactly 2.5 years ago on new television channels. Let's see, 2.5 years ago, in the programs I was a guest on television channels. What I said about the subject, let's watch it together. It is seen again. The psychological factor here has a significant impact on people's purchasing and selling power. The numbers show us that should I buy dollars or buy real estate? People are now looking here. Now look at a person who will buy real estate. What does a person who will buy real estate do? He either saves dollars, saves gold, saves silver, etc., and leaves it to various investment instruments or interest on deposits. There are not many people who invest in the stock market. Real estate agents are a bit traditional, so they do not enter the stock market much. They find it risky. I say, look, I personally presented this project to our Minister of Treasury and Finance twice. My friends, now there is a scrap dealer outside. There is a shoe shiner. There are ladies who clean houses daily. These are people who work individually and do not have an income declaration. Do they not have the right to buy a house? He does it under the age. He saves it. He buys foreign currency. He buys gold and so on. He physically saves it. Why do you have to declare your income in order to buy a house? If you don't have to keep it on a piece of paper, do you know what the law and the law say? These types of people say, well, they don't have to submit an income declaration. The law and the law. He says he wrote his name there. He says he is a scrap dealer. He says he is a shoe polisher. He does not want to declare his income. He says the law says this, but the banks still do the trick. He wants it for the sake of a piece of paper. There are millions of people in Turkey right now. Even though they do not have insurance, it is normal. These people are the ones who will pay the money in installments. We need to give these people the opportunity to buy a house. What did I say at the beginning of the broadcast? Smart people should take over their duties. There is a need for people who will produce projects in public institutions and organizations. What am I saying today? Sir, today's housing prices are 2 million, they are 3 million, etc. Well, brother, what about your neighbor above you? He says, my brother, you should buy it. He says, look how nice. He says, you can take out a loan from the bank. There is an income declaration. I don't know. He says, buy it. He says, look, I am in the state I am today. He says, look, if I had an insurance venture. There are models of the houses. The models of this house close this gap, but the state can sell houses to these people without needing a piece of paper. It can sell houses to these people. After all, banks put mortgages. They put things that cannot be sold. There is nothing else like this. There is no miracle. That is why Turkey I say that I will immediately tell you the numerical values in the future processes. 7 out of every 10 people in Turkey, 6 out of every 10 people in Europe pay their bills. There is a question mark about the future. This also needs to be resolved. Well, for the minister, it is one of my 5 projects. What I said, Mr. Minister, is that it is not in people's nature to give without receiving. If you offer something to people, people will give it to you, give you their sweat and savings, and therefore your job will be done and the citizen's job will be done too. So what should you do? You have to do this, for example, under the pillow. Citizens who save, most of them, but not all, are traditionalist people. They are individual workers. Who am I talking about? Those who sell bagels outside, those who shine shoes, those who do scrap dealers, the ladies who do daily house cleaning, etc. These people are individual employees and individual savers. These people are those who have enough income to pay their debts in installments when they use e-loan at the bank today. People in the system says that these are individual employees, and the law says that I do not want to declare income from individual employees. If you do not get a loan from the bank from a person you do not want to declare an income, you cannot use a loan from the bank. The question is, if I have enough income to pay installments, I can be a bagel seller, a shoe shiner, a scrap dealer on a daily basis. I can also be a lady who cleans the house. Don't I have the right to go to the bank and get a loan? I think so, because she can pay my installments. What do these people do? When they save their money, they leave, they buy foreign currency, they buy gold from our well, they save. If you give these people the ease of buying a house, the ease of buying a car, if you give them this project, it's their job. This is one of the simple projects with visible profit. Yes, everyone, the citizen, won. The state won. Yes, as you can see, both in my columns, here, on my YouTube channel and in my television programs, I made a suggestion that these friends of ours should not save under their pillows by accumulating foreign currency debited in TL, but should at least borrow money on their homes. Good news about this issue has started to come slowly, and I will give you good news about this issue soon. These works will start soon. Especially the Deputy President Severt Yilmaz was included in the plan I presented last September, and they are closely interested in this project, and I have no doubt about their sincerity. Bitlo, your capital is ready. It has never been easier to spend 000T. Multiply the money and keep your profit. Become a member of Bitlo now and step into the cryptocurrency world with advantages. Let your era begin. I hope we will have the opportunity to give good news on this subject soon. The second one is these, dear friends. I will enter a difficult path again. Pray for me. The issue is this again. Well, there are problems in many sectors. I generally discuss the problems on the gold side, produce solutions, and struggle to solve them. There was a problem in Turkey until today. It has never been solved. I mean, keep this from the professional chambers, the ministries, etc., are the addressees of the issue, but they have never discussed it. But I have discussed it from today onwards, and from today onwards, I will solve this problem and make a revolution in Turkey. Our topic is, are we buying gold? Are we buying stones? Now let's evaluate the groups we call gold separately: quarter gold, half gold. We buy gold, Republic gold, gram gold for saving purposes and put it aside. There is no problem with these, but what we call craftsmanship gold, such as necklaces, earrings and rings, waterway sets, ladies and gentlemen know well, when we buy these, there are stones in addition to all the products, rings, necklaces, earrings, etc. But the workshops are doing so much work now. Deke exaggerated those handcuffs. Hold them from the springs. Hold them from the stones in the rings and the stones in the earrings. They are taking the beautiful goods without being noticed. But until today, this problem has never been discussed. I am putting this problem on the table right away. I wanted to give an example to you today. Let's think about the Waterway Hard team, ladies. Again, he knows well, or the gentlemen who bought a Waterway set for their wedding know well that this Waterway set has a minimum of 3 grams of stone on it. What is its average today's value? It is around 6,500 liras. It happened, for example, there is a 253 centimeters spring in the spring of a clamp. How much does it cost? 10 liras. So, when you put it on the scale, how much does the customer pay? It is 600L, 700L. What is the difference? Kuka. No one has mentioned this problem until now. I hope I will be able to solve it. I will soon have meetings with our Minister of Trade, Mr. Omer Bolat, on this issue. I will solve this problem radically. Now, when you hear this, you may think of this. When we go to the jeweler, we buy cubes, we buy rings, etc. Is there a problem here? The problem is this. Actually, the problem is, on the crafted products, this could be a necklace, the cube. It could be a ring, it could be a ring. Since it doesn't say how many springs and how many stones are in that product, we pay 500 lira or 600 lira extra for that 10 lira cost. Not only does the customer who buys it give it, but the store owner in the retail jewelry store also gives it to the person who buys the product from the workshop, and there is only one winner, the bag maker, who brought it to the jeweler, who brought it to the high street retailing. There is only one winner. Today, I give an example of having a 2,530 centimeters stone in a ring. It is a stone worth 10 liras. A stone has no value. After all, we are paying 200 liras to 300 liras for a stone worth 10 liras today. My duty is to make an adjustment for this job. One spring is in the clamp. One spring will use Perks jewelry. That is, if I pay 500 liras for something that costs 10 liras, it is the one who breaks himself. Because when it comes to deterioration, they become garbage. Like the customer who goes to the jeweler's store and buys that ring and earring as a set, the jeweler buys it with stones in the same way and sells it to his customer. The bag maker sells it to the jeweler as he bought it from the workshop. See, the bag maker makes a loss, the jeweler makes a loss, the customer who buys it loses money. Who wins? Does the workshop make a profit? Wouldn't it be nice if all the products had a certificate and ID? If the products you bought had an ID saying how many centimeters of stones are in them, how many grams of stones, how many centimeters of springs are there? If they had a certificate and this was out of the cost calculation, I think it would be great. If I give 6,500 liras of stone, the value of this stone is 500,600 liras. Why should I throw away my 5,500 liras? I do not earn easily, and therefore, there is such a problem. I explain this issue in detail with visuals in my column on TV100.com tomorrow, and I am now talking about this issue in Turkey. I brought this issue to the agenda of I started a journey by solving it from the bottom up. Of course, the ones who have a hard time, the winners will attack me. They have been attacking me unintentionally for years. Because it is not wanted, it puts a stick in everyone's wheels and therefore I don't care at all. I will do what is right. I will do my duty. I will do my part. The stones in these illuminated products I will solve the issue, and the spring issue completely, and now everyone will be able to do their shopping with peace of mind. Pray for me. I will explain the details again tomorrow evening. I greet you, your children, and your family. Good evening. God bless you.